Yo, what is up? I know it's been a while, and to be honest, this is not like a real video. I just decided to upload this because I wanted to let you guys know that I will be coming back to the channel. I have a couple of videos that are planned out and being scripted as we speak, and getting those edits done so that it's pretty much available for everybody who wants to, watch. This video is basically going to be about this tweet right here, which is by Mute the Writer, and his tag's right there if you ever want to see him. And basically, yeah, I mean, pretty much this, I'm just going to be addressing like a lot of these claims that are shown in the tweet because, like most of them are bullshit, right? So, all right, I'm challenging every Boruto hater. I want to see how many can justify their hate for the show. Anyone can get it, so show me your logic. Why do you hate Boruto? Now, before we get into this, I know that we're going to see a lot of repeats here. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people's opinions on why they hate Boruto aren't exactly original. So if I do see a repeat, I will probably just skip over it if I've already addressed it. Otherwise, I will make sure to address it. So let's just get ahead and begin. First one by Cygnus says, I don't hate it. It's just disappointed that for a monthly manga, it ain't doing panels like the weekly counterpart. I mean, this is art. It's subjective. But I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty obvious that Kishimoto's art is better than Ikimoto's by like a long shot. I mean, just look at this fucking panel. We haven't gotten anything like remotely fucking similar to this in Boruto. Like, this would give Ikimoto a heart attack if he even attempted it, right? So I mean, yeah, this isn't really hate. It's just kind of like a subjective portion. In fact, he states that he doesn't hate it. So this is a fair point, the art is one thing that I will say is really just kind of up to you. All right, so here we have the first real hater. Inconsistency within scaling, lack of depth for characters, unfleshed villains, throwaway plot directions, inconsistent anime, irrelevance of most characters. Okay, that pisses me off right there. I'll explain why it pisses me off. But not a hate though. What do you mean not a hate? You just, okay, Boruto just isn't good. Okay, so this person was clearly not a hater. Let me address what they're talking about. Inconsistency within scaling. Where does this lie? Because these people just say a lot of things, but they don't bring up any proof to it. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? If I don't know what you're talking about, I can't really address it. But this, I'm assuming it probably has to do with they feeling like Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed, which I will address in full later. Lack of depth for characters. Now, let me address this one now. This is just plainly false. And when somebody says lack of depth for characters from Boruto, what they mean are the side characters. 9 times out of 10, somebody says that they don't mean Boruto and Kawaki, because if they read it, they know it's not Boruto and Kawaki who lack depth. They mean niggas like Inojin, Shikadai, like Chocho, all of them quaternary niggas. So let me explain how plot and character construction works in any piece of fiction. So you have your main characters, and then you have your side characters, and then you have your tertiary characters and the quaternary characters. You keep going backwards up until you get to like the 5 or 6 like length of characters who become like background characters at that point, right? They're not relevant. Shikada, Inojin, Chocho, Team 10, Iwabe, Denki, Medley, whatever team that was, 15, I believe it was, Namida, Wasabi, all those characters are not side characters. Let me get that in your head right now. They're not side characters like the Konoha 11 were in Shippuden or Naruto. It's not the same. Those guys are quaternary characters, or pensier characters would it be. They're not the main side cast, and that's what has people like messed up, because they recur in the anime mainly, which is, I mean, in sort the anime's fault, because they've established these characters so on early that they have to recur. Now you have the idea that, oh, right, they keep recurring characters, they must be part of the main side cast. That's not the truth. And you'll notice that they don't get that much anime development these days, because the real development that they were given were early on in the novels. So at this point, they've kind of flattened out as characters and just become random background, but they're still present. In the manga, they don't exist. Well, they do exist, but they're not shown, right? So like, because the anime decides not to adapt the manga to its like full potential, now we have 2 different lines of canonity, making people think that these characters aren't fully developed, which is false. If you look at the real side cast, Amato, Ada, Damon, shit, Code. No, not Code. Code is not a side character. Well, he could become a side character now, actually, given the recent events of Chapter 4. But you know what I mean. Ada, Damon, Amato, all those people, Delta, those are our side casts now. Sarada and Mitsuki are part of our main side cast now. Like, that is our main side cast. And it's kind of incorrect that people would assume that they aren't main of the side cast. But that's just how it is. So, the last 2 points that I want to address are where he says, what is it? Inconsistent anime and throwaway plot directions, which are virtually just two false opinions. Where does that come from? Throwaway plot directions, there's no see, there's no metric of measurement for that, right? What does that mean? It's unelaborated, and he just doesn't like to address it. Inconsistent anime, again, I've already addressed the lines of two different canonity between the anime and manga. Whether your opinion on it is good or bad, I don't really care. It's just how it is, right? And it doesn't look like it's going to change unless they reboot the anime, which is probably not going to happen. They go on a little tangent about how whatever. This is obviously bait or a joke. I know this guy. He likes Boruto. Burrito wears pink. Yes, valid reason to hate on Boruto. Actually real. No hate, not my cup of tea. If this is how it is for you, I don't really care. I mean, like, let's be honest. That's how it should be, right? If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Don't pretend like you have some valid reason to hate it, and then the reality is you just didn't like it. They nerfed Naruto and Sasuke. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we addressed the Naruto and Sasuke nerf. So let's just get into this, right? Okay, if this dude means if this dude means actually after the Ichigo arc, when Naruto lost Kurama and Sasuke lost Rinnegan, yes, they got nerfed. Is that a valid reason to hate on it? No. But if he means before, because they were fighting Jigen or Delta and got thrashed, then no. Just no. It's just not true. And oh my goodness, I shouldn't even have to explain why. But I mean, we have Naruto and Sasuke facing Jigen, who, if you actually read the manga, you will see why this dude is just such a direct counter to pretty much everything that they throw out. I mean, not only does he have the karma to absorb pretty much every chakra-based ninjutsu, he has his dojutsu, or ability of the Dharmagon, or whatever it's called actually, to shrink any physical ninjutsu. So literally anything they throw at him would get shrinked or absorbed. Like, it's quite literally something that they could not beat. So why would they go out and start flinging 10,000 insane shurikens if it's just going to waste their chakra? I mean, Jigen even addresses it. He says, are you done wasting your chakra? After Sasuke tries a Amaterasu on him. It's pointless, right? Boruto eats burgers. Such a valid reason to hate on him. The art style hurts my eyes. I mean, okay. So I already addressed about the art style earlier. I don't really think that it's that bad. Like, Ikimoto is, as somebody who's actually an artist myself, right? It's really not that bad. People make it seem like, oh, it's the worst thing, but then go over and read like One's adaptation of One Punch Man, read Mob Psycho, and be like, this is fine. You know what I mean? Like, the art is not important. The story is what's more important than the art. Whatever. I don't hate it, but I think it was unnecessary and made to purely okay. So here we go. I've already liked this tweet. You can already see every manga and anime ever is made for profit, especially anime, right? The anime is always made for profit. It's not always made to make the reach of the manga larger. It's just fuzz. Unnecessary? How? I mean, would you not like the story of Kaguya to be explained? I mean, Kaguya literally came out and one-shot Madara, and you don't want to see like where she comes from, who she was afraid of. You just want it to end on that note. Like, it doesn't make sense if Kaguya just appears. She has to have like a reason and backstory, and not the anime filler backstory they gave her. I mean, like, the actual backstory of Kaguya, which is explained in Boruto. BB, this dude, bro. Anyways, because Boruto hated his dad, he grew up without parents. If I were Hinata, I would probably beat up that little ass. What is he talking about? Boruto doesn't hate his dad. He knows this dude is a troll, okay? He knows this. He's being an idiot. I don't hate it, but I'm more like disappointed by the lack of use of, okay, there's a little bit of a grammar error here. Lack of use of the current characters. Trash villain Naruto and Sasuke not using half their abilities. Lack of ninjutsu and filler. It's Naruto, boy, worse. Alright, so let's go over this. Lack of use of the current character. So he's talking about Unijin Shigadai. Anytime somebody says something like this, I know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. And I already addressed it, so I'm not gonna get into the trash villains. Okay, so this is one that we're gonna see a bunch. It's just not true, right? I mean, what villain do you think in Boruto is like utterly trash? Like if you think of it in the actual canon, there's not anybody like that. The worst villain I could probably say is Shoujo here, but that's not because he's a bad villain. It's just because he doesn't have as much presence in the series as the other ones do. And people expected the villains to be like in Naruto with like motivation. Oh, I was a sad ninja and Madara stole my bitch or something, right? It's like, no, that's not the point. These villains are different. The Otsutsuki are not human, and that's the exact point of Boruto. It's hard work versus talent. People think Naruto is about hard work versus talent. No, that's what Boruto is about, right? It's about using your cheats or actually addressing the situation using hard work. I mean, you see it very prevalent in the first arc, right? Momoshiki arc. Momoshiki cheats by eating pills, and Boruto was like that once, right? He was naturally gifted and never decided to train because he was being bratty, right? Boruto learns the value of hard work via the Momoshiki arc, right? The plot is present. And you have Ishiki, right? Like, come on, bro. You cannot say Ishiki is a trash villain. His presence in the series is unmatched. His aura, things I use that stupid ass word. His aura is very high. Like he walks into Leaf, he's just like a plain badass. But I kind of want to save most of my Ishiki analysis because I am cooking up a video on like the fate and the entire character of Ishiki. So I don't want to say all of it here, but there's a lot more to Ishiki than people think. He's not just like an evil dude. Oh yes, he is an evil guy who wants to take the chakra fruit, but there's more to him than that, especially underneath the surface. Naruto and Sasuke not using half their abilities. Again, I already addressed this. They're going to be shrunk by karma. Pretty much what? Boruto, Kaki. Code's karma is a dud, so we can't use it. But, like, what could they use at this point? Kurama and Susanoo? Jigen has already been able to show to just fucking decimate both of the Kurama Ashura avatars and the Susanoo, right? So if Jigen can do it, and a lot of these villains at this point, Jigen is the benchmark for strength, right? Like, you have that, you know how Naruto, like Akatsuki tier was like a benchmark. Jigen is our benchmark in Boruto. So most people at this point are stronger than Jigen. Kurama and Susanoo aren't doing anything. Amaterasu is getting absorbed. Like, any Rasen Shuriken is getting absorbed. We're saying, like, they're just too slow, too weak, and they just don't have, like, the ability arsenal to keep up anymore. That's just how it is. It's like putting early Konohamaru against like Deidara. Like it's just not gonna work. Alright, let's keep going. The initial 20 episodes, however, did zero to make me care about the characters. Okay, yeah. This is valid. And this is an anime issue, right? It's because they adapted the novels, which aren't exactly like, the novel's purpose is not to make an interesting plot. It's just to give off the idea that the characters kind of exist. So the initial 20 episodes, like, they're just kind of, I'm not gonna say the word filler because it is anime canon, but they're just kind of like non-episodes in a sense to me. And although it does show, yes, Boruto and the Jogan and Yua and Sumeri's backstory, but Sumeri's backstory is never mentioned again in the manga, and not even in the anime, I think. So like, does it really matter if Sumeri's character does an entire 180 after the end of the arc and the prior character is never addressed or mentioned again in the future? Then what's the purpose of having that in the first place? You know what I mean? You could have just made Nue a summoning, and then Sumeri just happened to have this summoning, special summoning. Like, you see what I mean? Naruto and Sasuke exist only as punching bags until the next generation. Well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's okay. So this addresses it here. Naruto and Sasuke weren't punching bags. The same as that's like calling Kakashi a punching bag. Yes, Kakashi got beat a lot. Was that his only purpose? No. Naruto and Sasuke are the strongest in the current generation, or their current generation, right? If Otsutsuki come down, who the fuck do you want fighting the Otsutsuki? Do you want Kiba, Tenten, and Lee fighting the Otsutsuki, or do you want Naruto and fucking Sasuke fighting? See what I mean? Like, it's not the same. I'm a hater. Okay, where's pink? Here we go. Don't need any reasons for hating it. If you want reasons, here you go. Nerfing old gen. Okay, already existed. Naruto not giving a fuck about Hidden Rain. What does this have to do with Boruto? Plot holes like Sage Juice not working against Otsutsuki. What does that mean? Where does that come from? Nerfing Konohamaru. What? Edgy atmosphere and drips. What are you? Okay. I'm not gonna give that a response. It's not dignified. Inconsistency with how they pan the power in the show. Character designs don't fit the verse. Okay, that's the entire point of the character designs, is that it's a new age. I don't know why you would expect them to look like Shippuden characters. The world has changed. That's the entire point of the Boruto narrative. If you can't get that, then you just completely missed it. MC is uninteresting and mid. Developed just faces. Okay. I don't know if I'm tripping. Maybe I haven't had enough sleep, but a lot of these have like horrible grammar. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Is this a common thing with Boruto haters? Like, they just can't properly speak English? Okay, the MC is uninteresting and mid developed. I guess he's trying to say like he's not developed well. With, I don't know what I'm not even gonna address that because it doesn't make sense. Art style's trash, subjective. Manga got no source. What does this mean? What is he talking about? What are you talking about? What is he saying? I don't understand. What is he saying? Does anybody understand? Okay, if you're in the comment section of this video and you understand what he's saying, can you tell me so that I can address it in the comment section? I don't really feel like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's just anyways, where am I lost my place. Okay, so I already addressed why the characters look the way they do. I mean, come on, it's what it is. As an honest One Piece fan, I hate Boruto. What? He's watching Toruto, because what is this? What is he talking about here? When did Naruto, did I miss something? I might not, Boruto chapter 5 must have dropped, and I'm not ready. I haven't read it yet. Objectively trash villains. I explained this. Where's power scaling I've seen? What does this mean? It's just this means that he's mad that Naruto and Sasuke are at the top. Lame main character, false. Not a single old character. Why would the old character live up to what potential? Tech and aliens. Word limit? Oh. I don't think you know what objectively means. Only kids care about consistent. Storytelling and power scaling are not the same thing at all. Trash concept. Okay, was it trash when Naruto and Sasuke surpassed Hashirama and Madara? Don't even know. You do need to explain aliens, because I don't really understand that either. Well, I mean, this video's gone on long enough, and I feel like a lot of the comments are going to be very much repeats at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. But overall, I mean, I think you guys have gotten the grasp of the psyche of the Boruto hater. They aren't very smart people. I wish they were smart, you know, because it would be fun if we had like real criticism to go against these days. But Boruto haters just don't really have it made all the way up there in their noggins, so it's truly unfortunate. But thanks for watching, and pretty much peace until my next video comes out. I don't know what it'll be, because a lot of being edited at this point in time, but yeah.